A warm welcome to Robot Shaft for a short video on the topic of Luba. My testing is about to begin. Luba 1, which has been in use with me for over a year now, that means a real long-term experience. I've already left the space free for the cool overlays that you will see shortly from a year of Luba operation and what you need to watch out for. Yes, and the new Robot Luba with 2 omnidirectional wheels and a camera system immediately stands out when unpacking. The quality of the robot, the quality of the new RTK station. It has made a huge leap. The seals now come with a membrane keyboard instead of the open buttons. A lot must have happened regarding the sealing issue. I didn't want to test it because I was wondering what is the change from Luba 1 to Luba 2. Then Joseph and Steve, the top management of Mammotion, actually contacted me and said it can't be that the Luba isn't working in your test. I explained to them why and how. Yes, they actually persuaded me to take a look at it, with thanks for the honest videos. Interesting because I did tear it apart quite a bit. But yes, that's how it is. And it is actually, in fact, the first robot that I did not buy, which was provided to me to really showcase the significant improvements in the robot technology. Nevertheless, I'm not so sure about that, because from my theoretical considerations, I'll show you the experience report later, I have my thoughts on how it behaves with the camera and omnidirectional wheels. You read a lot in the forums, but we'll see. Let's start with a year of Luba experience and also what you need to pay attention to during programming so that the wheels don't hang away like in the forum. I've grown very fond of Luba, the automated lawn trimmer. It incredibly efficiently and effectively trims the lawn edges on this vast and expansive property much better than any other system can. I'll quickly show you the app, which is programmed with multiple areas, and it's really cool in the new assistant. You can start the app, get in, tap on one area, and then immediately choose if you actually want to mow inside. No, I don't. The edge is enough. How many laps? 3 times around the outside, blade height at 30, speed at 0.3, time displayed, start go. Yes, that's pretty cool. And of course, this property here with its conditions really benefits from an all-wheel drive like the one Luba has, and its shape in edge trimming, definitely. You can see the mowing quality in the area next to me, and I am not satisfied with it at all. I don't mow the entire area with the Luba, only the edge. More on that soon. Yes, let's start on the area with the edge trimmer. Both charging stations, Luba 1 and Luba 2, are over there, and right behind them is a steep, brutal edge. By the way, you can see it under the tree. Those are, of course, the lawn damages caused by the rigid wheels. That's the reason why, in my opinion, one should go omnidirectional. But yes, on a property like this, I can definitely live with a few turf damages. Traction is important. Look at how it climbs up to the hedge on a 45% incline. And then he carefully and meticulously trims the edges with precision, as if he were a professional lawn trimmer. It continues like this. Lower hedge, unbelievable performance right up close. You can now see in the video overlay how EPOS indeed actually clearly leaves the area at the edge standing. Luba takes care of that, as long as the RTK signal is good at that spot. Funny attempt with the small tree island up ahead. I programmed the path around it, as you can see in the app area, and now it actually blows it away. Listening and watching pass by. Yes, let's come to the stone wall that I have in front of me, on which we are sitting right now. I have now kept enough distance from this stone wall, and this is important for you in the programming. He could do much more, but he is not allowed to because the RTK signal fluctuates too much, and at this point we will now see what the camera does. Here, the camera is able to resolve this a bit better and so on. Also on the inside of the wall, at the top, where we are sitting right now. I deliberately left the grass untrimmed. I just can't get to it because otherwise, due to the RTK fluctuations from the tree, the thing would end up with the blade and everything else in the stones. The linden tree, where we are naturally thin in terms of RTK and have to keep a distance from the big stone there because otherwise mine would crawl at that spot. Let's just take a look. These are not nice lawn edges, but rather essentially the actual target area of the robot, which it should be able to handle. And now we'll see what the camera adds to the RTK. Next comes a hedge. Absolutely unbelievable performance. I'm truly telling you, this thing digs under the hedge and delivers performance that's absolutely unimaginable. That looks really awesome. But now I'm wondering what happens to the camera when I ask such a question. Does it even matter? And how long does Luba last? One has handled it well. After a whole year, it is now excelling in edge cutting when the decay signal is fully stable and present. Then it is outstanding with its mowing mechanism. Look at this. Such a mowing process doesn't exist. Additionally, in the lower area, the lawn edges hang down. At the spot where it is right now, everything follows down. And then we will see if the omnidirectional wheels can handle the turns as well as the fixed wheels. Long story short, you all know my huge property, which is indeed mowed by EPOS. And why the EPOS for the area, and specifically in this context, definitely not the Luba. I don't want to give it up completely at the edge because it's almost like using the lawnmower on the surface. I specifically left this area behind us with the louver today. Actually, in fact, it goes up to halfway when it gets a bit flat, and then it looks like this because the contamination below the build area becomes very significant. Indeed, EPOS needs 14 days, probably even longer, without cleaning because it is a fully developed cutting area, which we do not have with Luba. I do not see many big changes compared to it, because if we quickly flip it over, everything underneath is the same, except for the grids, which have become much more delicate. But as you can see, I had already removed them on the old one anyway. You shouldn't. Not in the evening, not at the end of the year, otherwise you wouldn't be done cleaning. If I mow several thousand square meters of area now, then you end up cleaning a lot. But at the edge, it is currently unbeatable. So quickly to the main changes. They are obviously the camera for one. It's about compensating for RTK issues. And indeed, just a quick note again, when it gets tight with the RTK between the houses, then the edge trimming is also over. And if you don't keep the appropriate distance in that situation, then you'll end up with broken parts like in the forum and eventually the wheels hanging off because the power of the robot is spectacular. The second thing is they left out the side buffers. Yes, there were still small switches meant to show the edge. That was never properly programmed. Now it's no longer there. Probably because the edge distance is regulated by the camera in this concept. We will see. Well, and the biggest change is the omnis at the front. And of course you want to take measurements because having the robot in this configuration on a tight winding property with beautiful lawn, it will get you with the damage, the devil will get you with the damage. They wanted to prevent it from being used on flat level properties here. We will see if that is not a big compromise. I don't understand why there aren't both options. It is only available here. And you all definitely know my video now, and there I see one of the very big issues in cross-slope driving. You all know my video where we drive on the streets with the Lobas from the 2024 new releases. And you can see actually immediately, as soon as I go a bit into the slope here, it really starts to struggle quite a bit with the wheels. And even on a slightly less steep slope, where the vehicle currently stops if it loses power, it will immediately start to slide straight down the incline without any hesitation or delay, making it difficult to control and potentially dangerous. Even when I switch gears under a significant load, there is absolutely no slipping or loss of traction at all during the cross travel. This ensures a smooth, seamless, and efficient transition, maintaining perfect stability and complete control. Yes, Be curious to see how it performs on the property, because that's exactly what we're going to look at, what it conjures up compared to him. Have fun very soon on this amazing channel. You haven't seen an M driven yet. We're starting right now.